Good day, welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at beating the DB Saga mission from the Red Ribbon Army Ultimate Red Zone. Now, there's one mission right now for Stage 3 which allows you or wants you to use 4 DB Saga category characters. You could incorporate some other youth options that would potentially be a bit better, but I wanted to run a full DB Saga team, firstly just because YOLO, and 3 because it's actually quite fun. DB Saga is one of those teams that's got a lot of synergy, can build up a lot of support amongst themselves, and has some pretty interesting units that I think obviously are more RNG dependent, but are still pretty fun. In terms of the challenge, if you need more details on the bosses, you can always see my original video on it, where I talk about them in general. But just to give you a rough idea, you take on 7 phases in total. A lot of the phases, especially the early ones, aren't too challenging. Your first challenge will come with Murasaki, the ninja, because he does a 1.7 mil super. General Blue is very challenging because of his locking in place, and Mercenary Tower is the toughest stage of the event. In terms of the DB Saga team, you don't have a lot of options in terms of leads. You either have Physical Goku, or you have AGL Goku Youth, and that's really kind of it. You can maybe get away with just using Bulma, but then that assumes you don't have either of the Gokus, which means your team is going to be pretty rough. In terms of the build, I would say obviously I'm using Physical Goku because I don't have AGL Goku. You then want to take a friend AGL Goku. If you've got your own AGL Goku, then have 2 AGL Gokus and just float the friend Goku. The AGL Gokus are really good, like really good, and they can easily carry this event. Physical Goku as well is really good and can easily carry the event. Strength Bomber is a great option to turn support with some fairly decent tankiness once she starts to get built up. Android 8, if you can keep him out of harm's way early on, also is a fairly tanky unit. He has 80% damage reduction when a Goku unit is in the same turn as him after the 5th turn, and with the 2-turn damage reduction support from Goku, that essentially means he'll be an 88% damage reduction unit, which is fairly good. On top of that as well, we have the Int Chi-Chi. I will say this is probably one of my biggest kind of throw-ins to this team. If you don't have her, you can consider using the Strength Master Roshi, but I really don't know about using Strength Master Roshi. Like, he's very inconsistent, especially not on a Pepe Gal-centric team. You're not going to be proccing his full passive the whole time. He can be caught out. The AGL Bulma Bunny is a great choice. Really strong with a really good outfit. I mean, a really good kit. And then you have the tech Mai, who is really good and also a nice floating support. Both Mai and Bulma are RNG centric characters, so you do have a chance of being caught out with them. Like, they could potentially take a lot of damage and get you in trouble. They can be caught out by super attacks, but generally their support is well worth it, and they do help a ton as well when you consider how strong they make the Gokus hit. And that's really it. The whole build of this fight is to cater to having one Goku on each rotation, and both Gokus hit like trucks. Physical Goku often hits, well, mine has a dupe in him, but often hits around 30 million, 31 million, really high. Then you have AGL Goku, who is dealing like 4 super attacks of 30 million each. I have a Rainbow Friend that I got, and eventually that builds up to like 37 million. I mean, he just decides to go absolutely insane. And then, realistically, just the team has a lot of mechanisms. Lots of support, lots of like floating support, lots of like consolidated support. We got two turn supports in the form of Bulma and Goku, and I ran both of them on one rotation. So the second rotation was getting a lot of backup from the first, and that's why the AGL Goku was hitting so hard. rotations would be for me, depending on if you have two AGL Gokus, but you need one Goku per rotation for sure. I paired up my physical Goku with my strength Bulma to kind of double 2-turn boost that AGL Goku, but if you got an AGL Goku, you probably want AGL Goku on each rotation. AGL Goku is actually surprisingly tanky. Once he gets that 7 super attack and he has that guard and he has like a million defense, and then he has guard, a million defense, gets hit again, has like 3 million defense, then I mean he can tank really well, surprisingly, which I think is actually very impressive. Like it's actually something that I find very, very interesting, is how well he can kind of tank and service the team actually in general, which I think is really, really good. So yeah, all in all, it was actually quite fun to run the team, and I actually had a ton of fun trying out some of these units. Yes, some of them don't work as well as they used to. Yeah, Strength Bulma's maybe not the absolute powerhouse she was, but she's still surprisingly tanky with her damage reduction, the additional damage reduction from Goku, her own guard capabilities, her own debuffing. Like, all of these things are very helpful actually, and really, really solid. So I was quietly impressed with them. I think the whole team actually impressed me quite a bit. The two floating sports I thought did a great job as well. And yeah, in general, I found them to be pretty cool. Pretty fun, pretty usable team. Obviously, if I had my own AGL Goku, I think things would be running a lot better. I do think they need an alternative tanking option. Like, they need an additional, Goku or Krillin or someone that can tank. Because right now, that is probably the biggest struggle that we have. But yeah, I would say a pretty fun team. Honestly, absolutely devastated the event. So yeah, it took a couple of tries. Like, there were times where the RNG failed. I think twice Bulma or Mai didn't dodge, and that let me down. But aside from that, honestly, everything worked pretty well. So yeah, from me, I think overall it was a good run, and I was actually very happy with it. So yeah, but that's it from me. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye.